Hello, hello. I am Alphonso McGriff III, and this is Alphonso Speaks. This is the platform that I use to share information about the conscious conversation experience. I'd first like to remind you that the Taste of the Caribbean Arts and Culture Connecticut Incorporated presents Hartford, Connecticut's Taste of the Caribbean Jerk Festival, Saturday, August 1st, 2026, from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. down at the riverfront. So it's going to be some good food and some good people, great vendors selling different things, live music, a lot of wonderful things. There's a children's village for young people, little people that's going to be there, and they do a lot of great things at the children's village. So this Saturday, if you're not busy and you want to have some fun, and it's no charge, come out to Hartford, Connecticut's Taste of the Caribbean Jerk Festival, Saturday, August 1st, 2026, down at the riverfront from 1 p.m. until 9 p.m. You have a great time. And also, if you would like to have a conscious conversation, a one on one or with groups, it could be groups of young people or it can be groups of mature adults. If you want to have a conscious conversation, just let me know and we'll work it out and arrange it, set it up, make it happen. Uh, and the only thing that I require is some water and red grapes. So I'm not asking you for your money. I'm just ask I'm just presenting the opportunity to have a conscious conversation if you're interested. So I don't want money to be the holdup. I think I have great information to share, and I think it's something that people can use and benefit from. So at this stage of my amazing speaking career, I'm interested in sharing with you if you're interested in making it happen. Again, if you need me to speak with young people, I will. If as the older generation, you want to have a group conscious conversation, we can make that happen. And also, if you want to have a one-on-one conscious conversation about anything, we can talk about it. So just inbox me and let me know. I'm open. When we talk about the conscious conversation experience, we always talking about resolution. Resolution is the successful solving of a problem. The successful solving of a problem. Right now, I believe it's a great time for me to do what I'm doing because people are fighting and arguing every single day. I believe every moment of every day, people are fighting and arguing, and I think we can do better, but I don't think we've been exposed to how we can be better. And I am interested in being one of those people that can help expose us to how we can be better with how we interact with one another verbally. So the conscious conversation experience, and it helps to improve the quality of who we are. Of course, if you have any comments or thoughts, please feel free to share them in the comments. If you have any questions, feel free to share the questions in the comment area. I'm on Facebook, Alphonso Speaks page. And if, again, you have any comments or thoughts or questions, please feel free to express them in the comment section and I'll look at them and address them. I'm here to help myself and people around the world transform conflict into conscious conversation that leads to understanding, resolution, and enlightenment. What is a conscious conversation? A conscious conversation is a verbal interaction where we speak with the desire to understand. We ask questions and we share information. We take responsibility for our thoughts, words, and actions and control our prejudices and emotions, which, if left unchecked, will disrupt the goal of having a conscious conversation. The strength of a conscious conversation is its ability to inspire rather than manipulate. Ultimately, the conscious conversation experience is a pathway to understanding, resolution, and enlightenment. The major requirement for a conscious conversation is the desire to understand. If there is no desire to understand, then there can be no conscious conversation. The foundation is understanding, not winning, not losing, not being the smartest, but understanding. Where all we do in a conscious conversation is try to understand each other if that's possible. And sometimes it's not, and that's okay too, because we're all different and we operate. And like I said, the mind is like the details in the fingerprint. So we're all different. So if we don't necessarily understand each other at the end, then that's okay. That is okay because we have information that we can refer to later on down the road when something similar comes up and we think about it. I've learned that developing myself can lead to unnecessary challenges with insecure people. Insecure people who are intimidated by those who have a sense of self. It's not our problem, but it is one of the challenges and consequences of having a desire to grow. So, you know, as I always say, as we continue to open doors to next levels of understanding, there will be fewer and fewer people in the room, which means that sometimes we're going to have to just kind of uh, leave some people behind if we want to keep going. If people aren't ready to get to next levels of understanding, there's nothing we can do about that. So sometimes we have to be willing to let go of some relationships. Now, what I want to talk about tonight is the reason why I don't celebrate holidays. A long time ago, I started investigating holidays. And what I found out was every holiday that is celebrated is rooted in somebody's history and culture. And the more I researched holidays that I was raised up to celebrate, each holiday I found out represented somebody's history and culture. I remember in the sixth grade celebrating St. Patrick's Day, going to school with green clothes and going to McDonald's to get a green milkshake and all of this stuff. It was a big deal. But I didn't know that I was basically participating in the celebration of somebody else's culture and history. And so slowly, one by one, as I looked up and researched each holiday, I realized that I was celebrating a bunch of stuff that didn't represent my history and culture. So I stopped celebrating the holidays. And the more I learned about marketing and promotion and how holidays are just simply used to, many of these holidays are used to just make money. And there's nothing wrong with making money, but I have to know why I'm doing what I'm doing. We have to be able to question everything. Anything that we do and we don't have any idea or understanding why we're doing it, that's a serious problem. Anything that I do, because I mean, I'll say it's a problem for me. For those of you who can engage in and celebrate things you have no knowledge and understanding of why you do it, that's your thing. But I'll say for me, I can't participate in the celebration of anything if I have no idea why I'm celebrating it or how it represents me and in what way. So people say, well, you don't celebrate birthdays? Nope. I think my mother did all of the work and I just showed up. I believe, especially in the Black community, The greatest way to celebrate birthdays is to celebrate the woman who brought forth the life. Um, my grandmother had 13 kids, for instance. And I think about it. I think about if she was celebrated 13 times a year, growing up in the family and watching a woman get celebrated 13 times a year, every time somebody's birthday came up. Just imagine how that would empower the young ladies and girls raised in a family like that. Imagine how that would empower boys and young men raised in a family like that as it relates to living your entire life celebrating women. And imagine how it would be so reciprocal. You know, you have a man who is used to celebrating women and you end up with a man like that. And so, and if you are an appreciative woman, then you reciprocate with how you treat him, and it's just a beautiful relationship. And and it's a great way to raise young people as it relates to helping them understand the value of women and even the value of men. So, and I think the way we celebrate holidays is just so selfish. That's my opinion. Um, Especially birthdays. I mean birthdays. We all lurking in corners waiting for somebody to do something special for us because it's our birthday. Some people get on social media and say, "Hey, this is the list of things I want. This is the store I want them from. Just check that list and get me something on the list." And it's serious business, and people do that, and that's cool because everybody's different. The late great Isaac Hayes once said, "Whatever you do, you got to do your thing." And so everybody's doing their thing. So I'm doing mine. I don't celebrate any holidays. What about Valentine's Day? I, this love that we're engaged in, I have no respect for it. I have a different understanding of love. And Valentine's Day love is just not the understanding that I have at all. You know, I see my brothers running around in the grocery store on Valentine's Day and looking like these proud men walking out the store with all these flowers they gonna give their woman, and I'm looking at it like, damn, bro, you knew Valentine's Day was coming. what kind of plans did you make? Like, did was it the plan to go to the grocery store at 9 o'clock in the morning on Valentine's Day to get the flowers? I don't know. It's just so corny to me. I just can't relate to Valentine's Day. Um, no, I don't celebrate. I don't celebrate any holidays. I respect them because if you work, you get the days off and things like that. But I don't celebrate. I don't celebrate any holidays, especially what's the most recent one that became a holiday? Uh, I don't know why I can't think about it. Juneteenth. I I once I read the Emancipation Proclamation, I realized that there was no substance to the Juneteenth celebration, none whatsoever. So I no, I don't celebrate that either. Um, so no, I don't celebrate holidays. They don't represent my history and culture, and they don't make sense to me. But I'm always open to talk about it, you know, or if somebody has some questions or thoughts. I'm open to having a conscious conversation about it. But no, I don't celebrate any holidays. Now, if I was in some kind of relationship with a woman and her birthday, that was something important to her, I could respect that. If I was in a relationship with a woman and Mike, what is a pagan holiday? Tell me what a pagan holiday is. And her birthday was important to her, I could respect that. I would have a tougher time with Valentine's Day. I have no respect for Valentine's Day at all. None whatsoever. The Hallmark holidays, I just don't have any respect for. And Valentine's Day is the top of the list. So I would have some challenges. We might have to come to a compromise on so-called Valentine's Day. That's just out. What's a pagan holiday, Mike? Um, and the birthdays, like I said, if I was in a relationship with somebody and that was important to them, I could be flexible with that. It's not a big deal. But I'm not going to a Juneteenth celebration. I'm not putting on the tuxedo. Um, put it this way: Valentine's Day and Juneteenth are non-negotiable. Like that's out. I'm not. Um, what is a pagan holiday? When you say pagan holiday, what does that mean? That's all I'm asking. What's a pagan holiday? I don't want to know what day is a pagan holiday. I want to know what it means. That word, pagan. What does that mean when you say pagan holiday? Because that sounds like a religious term to me. I don't know. What does that mean? Pagan. Help me out. Work with me, Mike. Pagan. What do you mean when you use that term? What do you mean when you use that term, pagan holiday? So I'm willing to have a conscious conversation about it. My mind is open to a major degree, but Valentine's Day and Juneteenth are non-negotiable. I don't mess with those 2 days, period. Now, moving on, another question I ask every time I come on the air is, in what ways do I make decisions that hurt me? In what ways do I make decisions that hurt me? And so the question is, do I refuse to make adjustments that are in my best interest because I'm concerned about how others might benefit or what others might think? Um, do I refuse to make adjustments that are in my best interest because I'm concerned about how others might benefit or what others might think? So, Mike, just for the record, I think, Mike, did you just snatch that off of Google or something? Because I don't know what that means. A pagan is a person who follows a polytheistic religion, practices a nature-based or modern neo-pagan faith like Wicca. Isn't Wicca kind of like witchcraft? Or historically someone outside of major Abrahamic religions? Okay, so, well, which holiday is not a pagan holiday, Mike? Christmas? I don't know. It might went on Google and just snatched that down. I think it'd have been better if you could just tell me in your words what you mean when you use that term. So, in what ways do I make decisions that hurt me? Do I refuse to make adjustments that are in my best interest because I'm concerned about how others might benefit or what others might think? What we use? Yes, it is what? Yes, it is what, Mike? Yes, it is something you snatched from Google right quick, or what do you mean? Um, I think when we refuse to make adjustments that are in our best interest, because we're thinking about how somebody else might benefit, that is what I call making decisions that hurt me, or worried about what other people might think. See, these kind of decisions that here are decisions that keep our lives miserable. When we will hurt our own self to keep somebody else from benefiting. When we don't have the wherewithal to just focus on the fact that what I'm doing is in my best interest, and however it affects anybody else, more power to them if it's good, and if it's not good, more power to them. That's how we have to move in this setup. But to be worried about not doing what's best for me because somebody else might benefit, or worried about what other people might think, living and being concerned about what other people think about how you choose to live is a guaranteed miserable life. It's a guaranteed miserable life. If you want to live a miserable life, then keep worrying about what other people think. Guaranteed. And there are many, many people who are absolutely miserable because they're always worried about what other people think. And I'm consistently called cold and heartless because I absolutely gives zero lollipops about what somebody thinks about me and what I do. Because none of these people are going to let me run their lives. Not one of them will say, hey, can you just run my life too? No. So the idea that I'm allowing somebody else to have a profound effect on how I live my life, it can't be in my best interest. And I am making decisions that hurt me. I can't be worried about how my now I look forward to my actions benefiting others when I talk about the conscious conversation experience. And that's cool. But to be worried about what other people think about what I have to say and how I live my life, I will continue to be identified as cold and heartless because I don't give a hoot or a holler about what other people. I can't afford to. I have too much self-respect to live my life concerned about what other people think. Got too much self-respect. And I'm not saying I've never been sucked into that. I can't say I've never been sucked into that thought process of being worried about what other people say or think. I can't say that has never happened to me. But I can say that every single day I work on not on giving zero hoots or hollers about what other people think about how I move. So that is definitely something I'm working on. So pagan means kind of associated with witchcraft, huh, Mike? Um, they removed all of the witchcraft from the Bible when they snatched a lot of those books out. And then they left a little bit of it in there and called them miracles. Oh my goodness. I could be misinformed, but I'm just saying that's years ago. That's kind of what I learned, that a lot of um, what would I be identified as witchcraft was snatched out of the scriptures, and those books were left out. And then what remained in the book that was witchcraft became miracles. So I don't know. I could be wrong. That's just another view. So let me just go back to the thought that I'm willing to have a conscious conversation about is, why I don't celebrate holidays, whether they're pagan or not. I don't celebrate them. I don't care about them. A recap is my top two non-negotiable holidays are Valentine's Day and Juneteenth. I will not celebrate those holidays under any circumstances. Um, and what ways do I make decisions that hurt me is when I refuse to make adjustments that are in my best interest because I'm concerned about how others might benefit or what others might think about that. So thinking like that hurts me and it makes sure my life remains miserable. So I have to, when those kind of thoughts cross my mind, I have to get a handle on those and get rid of those. I also would like to remind you that this Saturday, the Taste of Caribbean Arts and Culture Connecticut Inc. presents Hartford, Connecticut's Taste of the Caribbean Jerk Festival on Saturday, August 1st. This Saturday, from 1 to 9. Hey, Mike, you gonna come be a volunteer again this year? I'm gonna be there. I gotta be there around 7:30 Saturday morning. And if you want to come hang out and help out, man, let me know. You helped us last year. So if you want to help or you know somebody else want to come and volunteer to help, uh, like I said, I'm gonna be there from 7:30 in the morning. Now, also, if you need me to speak with your young people, I will. If you want to go have a conscious conversation one-on-one, that's cool. If you want to do a conscious conversation with a group of people, adults, that's fine. If you want to do a one-on-one conscious conversation, whatever you want to talk about, we can talk about it. We can have a conscious conversation about it. I will remind you. Oh, okay, Mike, I understand you got to work. I will remind you that I don't claim to be holding no degrees in psychology or philosophy or none. I don't have any of these degrees. I don't want to be like that sis out here who they keep destroying because they don't believe in her degrees. I'm letting you know I don't have any. I don't claim to be. I don't claim to be a therapist or social worker or psychologist or for and any of that. I don't have any degrees in none of that stuff. My degree is my life experience and what makes sense to me. And I'm willing to share that with people. So if you want to hear it and it makes sense, I'm open. And like I said, right now, whether it's a group or it's a one-on-one, I also do uh, plan for anger. If you have anger issues about a particular issue and you want to start trying to work through that, I help people with that too. Um, right now, I just need some water and red grapes. They can be seeded or not. And Don't sleep on what I'm offering now, because when all hell break loose and I get big and I'm standing before thousands and you didn't take advantage, you're gonna be saying, "Oh man, I should have had that session with Fonz, but when he was only asking for water and grapes." So don't sleep. I'm open now. If you want to have a conscious conversation, we can make it happen. So yeah, so those are the reminders, and I'll say that you could be doing anything right now in this very moment, and you chose to give me some time in your life. I appreciate that, and I do not take it for granted. I absolutely love you all, and I always will, and I will never give up on our people, ever, ever, period. You know why I won't? Because our people are me, and I am our people, and I can't give up on myself. That just won't work. Mike, what are you talking about? Wait, what? Right now, I'm doing the conscious conversation, and I'm saying anybody that wants to have a conscious conversation, whether it's a group or one on one, the only thing I'm asking now is water and red grapes, not just any grapes, red grapes, and they can be seedless or with seeds. As long as we got some red grapes and some fresh water, some good water, and we can have a conscious conversation, and I can share this information. What's important to me right now, Mike, is just being able to share the information. There's so much good information in this book that I just wrote, "In the Roots of a Tree." It's so much what I think is powerful information in this book, and then it's so much powerful information that I have to share. I'm not satisfied with just coming on Monday through Friday to share this information, doing this live. I want to be able to share it with people. And right now, I'm willing to do so. If you have a nonprofit organization, we'll have to talk, because I sat through a Board of Education meeting, and I watched some nonprofits getting 300,000, 650,000, 200,000 funding. And like, I just think that our Black nonprofits need to be able to pay our people. And I told this brother recently, I said, "Yeah, this is what I do, and this is what I speak about." And he was like, "Oh man, that's great. We can get you together with the so and so and so and so." And I said, "But I would like to be paid." And he was like, "Oh, but nonprofits be getting funding. Not all of them, but I think my thing is just be fair. If you're getting funding and you getting a nice amount of money, why not pay for great services?" And I have what I call great services. So I I clearly haven't been welcomed. I haven't had open arms and open welcome with nonprofits around the greater Hartford area. So it's okay. You just got to keep doing your thing. But right now, yes, Mike, I will get together with people one on one, or with groups, with young people or with the older groups, to have a conscious conversation. And I just need some water and some red grapes, and I'm good. So listen, it's been real. It's been great. Thanks for hanging out with me, Mike, tonight. That's my cousin right there. He keeps me in tune with what's going on with the family, because I'm always, I'm like real heavy working on making this professional speaking thing happen. So sometimes I'll be missing out on stuff, and Mike keeps me informed on what's going on with the family. So when I can get involved and participate. That's my numero uno right there. Mike, Mike, nice Scotsman. All right, listen, y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thanks for hanging out. And I look forward to speaking with you again tomorrow night. I'll be back. Uh, oh, well, it's too late, Mike. I already told them you family, so it's just too late. It's over. It's too late. It's too late. Anyway, you all have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I will be back tomorrow night, 9 p.m. And what am I talking about tomorrow? Tomorrow night, I'll be talking about why I don't vote. Tomorrow night, I'll be talking about why I don't participate in the political process. I know we can have a conscious conversation about it. I know that's blasphemous in the Black community, but we can have a conscious conversation about it. So, again, y'all have a wonderful evening. And like I said, I love you all, and I always will, and I will never give up on our people. Never, ever, 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 ever. I can't give up on myself, so I know I can't give up on our people. Y'all